Call the meeting to order. Y'all would stand. Have a moment of silence. Like I always say, just remember each other when you're out every day, particularly through storms like we've had. I hope we don't have any more. I'm ready for warm weather, but just remember each other as you go about your daily lives. If you would, bow with me for a moment of silence. Have a pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Call a roll, please.
Miss Brown.
Here.
Mr. Griever.
Here.
Mr. Robinson.
Here.
Mr. Walker.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
And Ms. Grace. Here.
Recognition of visitors and delegation participation. I guess we've got Parents Coalition first.
Yes. So the only thing that I have for you guys this month is that parents would like to give recognition to the excellent job that the eighth grade math teacher, Mr. Prophet, is doing.
It's doing it very good.
Yes.
Did you hear that, Miss Arnie?
I agree.
You agree? You concur? Got anything to add? Okay. Thank you. And our school this month is a high school.
The high school's turn to do a student recognition, and we're hoping this will be a surprise.
Start.
Yeah.
All right. We want to recognize an outstanding young lady tonight who is one of our JCHS seniors this year. You all actually know her quite well because she is your own Johnson County School Board Student Representative, Julia Cruz. So if you'll come down here, Julia, I'm going to talk about you. As I mentioned, Julia is a senior at JCHS, and she is the daughter of Julian and Amber Cruz. There is a great deal that I could say about her, and we'd be here for a while if I told you all of her accomplishments. I'll start simple. Julia has straight A's for the entirety of her high school career. She's taken some of our toughest academic classes, and she has excelled. She has challenged herself in our CTE programs, and she has excelled. She is extremely active and has been extremely successful in our FFA program. She's won awards at a high level in, among other things, prepared public speaking, extemporaneous public speaking, and she's already earned her state FFA degree. She has set her sights on becoming a state FFA officer, and I, for one, and I'm sure Mr. Duggar agrees with me, think she's an obvious choice. She currently serves as president of our FFA chapter as well as our chapter of Fellowship of Christian Athletes. She's also an officer in both the National Honor Society and the National Technical Honor Society. She has performed in many of our drama department's excellent productions, and perhaps the greatest attribute of all, she has repeatedly demonstrated that she has a heart for service with a genuine desire to help others, having volunteered extensively during the Hurricane Helene relief efforts and continuing still through her church's community outreach program. I want to share a few comments from three of her teachers. Mr. Duggar sent me this. Julia has a great passion for people and also for education. She makes Johnson County shine. It has been a privilege for the last 4 years to work with her and to watch her grow in leaps and bounds. What a great example of work ethic, integrity, and character. Mr. Eggers, her theater teacher, said Julia is a natural on stage, behind the stage, really anywhere. A superior, well-rounded individual. And Miss Radford, her dual enrollment English teacher, says, although these tasks seem all-consuming, this is a snippet from a letter of recommendation she wrote for Julia. Although these tasks seem all-consuming, Julia's maturity and ambitious nature allow her to juggle various other responsibilities with an ease that is beyond her years. Julia's schoolwork and dedication to her studies are evident in everything she does. She's an extremely responsible scholar, thus resulting in very impressive grades. Her work is always organized, meticulous, and accurate. She demonstrates a love for learning and trying new tasks that every teacher dreams of in a student. So in conclusion, this year all of our schools began working with something called the Resilient Schools Project. One part of the project is identifying core values that both represent your school and what you want your school to aspire to be every day. Ours at the high school are growth, respect, teamwork, perseverance, and community. You'd be hard pressed to find anyone who embodies these characteristics better or more consistently than Julia Cruz. Congratulations, Julia, you make us proud.
Three, two, one. 3, 2, 1.
I'll let you wanna look at Dad first? Perfect. Thank you.
With all that wisdom, has time to even get home.
Do you ever see her?
You see her?
Some.
Well, since we're talking about her, we'll just go ahead and let her do a report.
All right, well, happy February, everyone. I'm glad to see that everyone made it out of the blizzard that we have. Despite the weather, our high school has been super busy. So I asked some students to send in a couple pictures of them in the snow. I see that there's a lot of sledding, a lot of skiing. I personally didn't get out, but it looks like a lot of other students had a good time. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Johnson County High School Theater Department. They took 8 students down to Middle Tennessee State University to attend the Tennessee State Thespian Conference. I think I can speak on behalf of everyone since I attended. It was a blast. This whole weekend was filled with different workshops. My personal favorite was learning to professionally fight and how to do it safely. There was also a lot of dancing. We learned how to do a lot of stage makeup. And it was just an awesome weekend full of different performances that we got to attend. Additionally, the drama department will be putting on Shrek the Musical from March 26th through the 29th, so make sure to mark down your calendars and come see our talented students. I want to showcase some of the photos from the band concert. They had an amazing turnout, and it is clear that Johnson County is full of some talented students. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of our sports coming up. So our Longhorns basketball, they have a home game on February 17th and tournaments start on February 19th. The same thing goes for our Lady Horns. Baseball will be having a home game on March 10th and away games on February 24th, March 6th, and 10th. And our softball will be doing some traveling. They have away games on February 28th, March 3rd, 5th, 10th, and 12th. So come out and support all of your student athletes. There is a couple of important dates coming up. For all the seniors, Local Scholarship Day will be this Friday, February 13th. It will be held in the library during lunches. This is your opportunity to come and see all the different scholarships that are offered through our county. So make sure to come and see if you're eligible for any of those. Junior night, this is for the class of 2027. Juniors and families are invited to the high school on February 26th from 6 to 7:30. This will help your family get prepared for senior year, all about college, your ACT, and all the resources that are available to you. And finally, for the class of 2030, freshman orientation will take place on March 4th from 5 to 6:30 at the high school. All rising freshmen and families are encouraged to attend to become familiar with the high school before your freshman year starts. Thank you.
Well, thank you. You know, as for me, and I know I speak for the rest of the board, we're very, very proud of you and glad that you're a member of our board this year.
Thank you.
Gotta get my glasses on to see. Item number 5, approval of the agenda. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
We have a motion, need a second.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, any discussion? Call roll, please.
Miss Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Griever,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Long.
Yes. Consent agenda. Anything on the consent agenda we need to pull off and look at separately? If not, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Miss Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Graver?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
And Mr. Long?
Yes. 5-year plan?
Yes, 5-year plan will be reviewed at the annual board retreat, which is Saturday, February the 28th. You all will begin at 8:30. And we will work for a long time on our 5-year planning groups, and then that will be presented at the next board meeting for approval.
Item number 8, approve making February 26th, March 24th full instructional days. Currently, these days are student half-days, and half-day for staff.
Yes. In our calendar, we do have the, half-days for students, half-day PD day for our staff, which has worked really well because it allows our staff to have professional development. One of the things when talking to principals, we would like to turn those into full instructional days. It does not get us a day back because it's already counted as a school day, but it does give us instructional seat time that our teachers desperately need after we have missed so much. We're not going to mess with the half-day that is half-day parent-teacher conference because by law, we're required to have that, and they've already done their in-service time, so we can't mess with that day, but for these 2 days, we'd like to get those back for full instructional time.
You need a motion for that.
Yes, to change the.
She needs approval for that, so I need a motion.
I'll make the motion that we convert February the 26th to March the 24th back to full instructional days.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Miss Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Graver?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Long?
Yes. Item number 9, approve cleaning, crack filling, and resurfacing 4 tennis courts and a basketball playing area at the Johnson County High School by Baseline Sports Construction using Sourcewell contract number 031622. Cost of this will be $60,125. And general purpose will be utilized to pay for the expense.
So I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Henley.
Yes, our tennis courts at the high school have been in need of some attention for some time, and we feel like that this option that you have to look at there is the best option that we have at this time to make our students a safe and a place that they can play and be proud of for several years down the road. And so that's our recommendation. This is the same company that originally, when the tennis courts were converted over several years ago, I'd say 12 to 15 years ago, this is the same company that came in and did the work at that time. And I know Mr. Cruz has probably spent some time up on the tennis courts, and it's just it's time that we address the issue up there and take this step if you guys will approve that.
Well, this, how quick will they do that?
They can start in April. That's as early as they will start. However, our tennis season is in April in full swing, so I've talked to Coach Pittman, and hopefully we can work around the time frame of tennis playing and be able to get that done so that the students this school year would have access to the court. The process should take about 6 days to complete. It may take an extra day or so depending on the weather, and within 24 hours.
And that's the next question, the curing time. I didn't know what the curing
24
time.
hours. He said the
24
next
hours.
day that they could be on the surface.
Okay.
I asked him, I said, is there a way that we could get it worked in March? And they just do not start that soon because of the weather. It has to be a certain temperature, and he said April, they've done it for years, and April's the go time, as early as they will. Be happy to ask any questions if you have any based on the information you have there, Pastor Pine.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your pleasure? I mean,
I will give you the other option that we tried to look at. We talked to the gentleman about, what are our options, and he said another option would be to do a stone overlay over the courts we have, and then a brand new pavement surface, and then of course the acrylic surface and the striping and such. He had a paving company that they used come up and take a look at the courts. They did not feel like that they could get their equipment up there, and he said that was not an option at that, that they did not think that was an option at this time unless they could build a road up to the tennis courts. That cost would have been approximately $400,000, not counting whatever the cost would be for the tennis courts. He said, or for the basketball playing surface. He said you could approximately, say about $100,000 per court. There's 4 tennis courts. Then there would be some additional money for that would have been needed for the basketball area as well.
so we haven't done anything up there in 12 years plus?
To my knowledge, no, sir.
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't either. I'm a big fan of the non-big sports, and I think that tennis is something, I'm a bit biased. I played tennis when I was in high school too, so I would make a motion to approve this contract with Baseline Sports Construction to resurface tennis and basketball courts.
And I'll second that motion.
And it be coming from the general purpose?
Yep.
Okay,
GP.
coming from the general purpose. Any further discussion on that? We got a motion and a second. No further discussion, call the roll.
Miss Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Graver,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Long.
Yes. Item number 10, approve the termination of the lease between the Johnson County Board of Education, Heritage Hall, located 211 North Church Street, Mountain City. New lease will have to be completed between both parties if parties wish to enter into such agreement.
Currently, the lease for Heritage Hall is between the Board of Ed, the town of Mountain City, and local Parks and Rec. And Heritage Hall had actually come to us, and they had asked that the town of Mountain City be taken out of the lease agreement. And Ruth Ann's here if you have any specific questions. But the Park and Recs no longer needs the town of Mountain City because they can sustain themselves. And the town of Mountain City actually approved at their January meeting to get out of the lease. So we have to approve that as well, and then there'll be a new lease drawn up between us and the Parks and Rec.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but I did notice something when I read through this, and it's the termination clause that basically, even if we approve to do this, this lease is still in effect until a new lease can be drawn between us and the Board of Ed, between the Heritage Hall and the Board of Ed. Because evidently they may still have to have something to operate under for them to be able to have access to the facility, is the way I take it.
Well,
That's-
I would assume, because it's our building.
That's true, we know that.
It's in our building,
And
yeah.
they know that. Yeah.
Okay.
And they actually have Attorney Carroll on their
Yes.
board, so we'll be working with him.
Okay.
So we're voting solely to terminate the lease tonight, and then moving forward, we're going to come up with the new lease, which will be presented to us at a later point.
Yes.
Make a motion to terminate the lease currently?
Yeah,
I'll second
got a motion to terminate the lease. And then, that's what we needed, right? Terminate the lease agreement. Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call roll, please.
Miss Brown,
it. Yes.
Mr. Graver,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Long.
Yes.
Thank you.
Approve the instructure contract for 3 years in the amount of $8,615. This is an online transcript form.
Currently, we have a contract that's called Scrib Order. We've had this in place for numerous years. This is the way that students and former and current students go on to to request a copy of their transcript. Instructure is taking over script orders, so we need to do a new contract. It is a multi-year, it's a 3-year contract because they give you a discount if you go for multi-years. We have made a little bit off of this. We do receive a little bit of funds back from it. We've had this since 2023. We received $4,050 in total. What do we use for that money? We use that for attendance incentives that Mr. Osborne uses to promote, and Ms. Miller, when she was in that position, rewards students for attendance. So that's where we get those funds from. It's a great source for our students to be able just to go online, complete what they want, and they automatically send it to the college that they need. So we highly recommend this. And it's just they're changing companies. That's why we're having to.
Okay.
And it will be a multi-year, which means that the
We'll have
county
to-
legislative body will have to approve it as well.
We'll have to go to the county commission.
Yes.
Will
So-
that- oh, go ahead.
Is that one of them that has to come up every year?
What's that?
Some of those had to come up every year.
Yes, the board can approve a 12-month contract on its own, but if we exceed and start crossing fiscal years, and this would be a 3-year, would cross 3 fiscal years, state law says the county legislative body has to give that final approval because they're ultimately taking on the inherent responsibility
For the other.
for the other.
But they
But
will
we
give
won't
us-
have to approve it annually.
And they will give us a cheaper rate if we do. And it is worth it to have that.
Okay.
And I guess with that being said, I'll make a motion that we approve the 3-year contract.
Okay, we have a motion
I'll second
and a second. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Graver?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
it. Yes.
Mr. Long?
Yes. Item number 12. Approve utilizing the Anderson County Consortium, number 1747503 for both VoIP voice service and district data connectivity.
And I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Sutherland because this is all in the technical world. This is with our E-rate funding and our phone service.
Our existing agreement with the TEBC consortium, which was over a 6-year period with the extension, ends on June the 30th of this year. We have an idea that we need to move to the Anderson County Consortium, because it has been in place for 1 year. We look to save in the neighborhood of $17,000 annually on that. They're going to be reducing our data costs overall. And this will also allow us to evaluate them. The term is for a 1-year period, but of course it will come back each year for any kind of extension that we need to do. Will require board approval and everything. So we feel like this is the best way to go. We have had some issues with our existing provider since the new company, which is called Zayo, took over in June of 2022. There have been some data issues, some connectivity issues. We've had also some voice quality issues as well. Denial of service attacks and unexplained outages for no particular reason. We feel like a transition over to the Anderson County Consortium will help provide a better service overall, and plus it saves us money as well. So we would appreciate your support on that. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
And ladies and gentlemen,
Well, I like the savings. We'll pay for the instructional contract. I'll make a motion we approve.
got a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any other discussion?
It seems to be something extremely popular. It looks like 72 of the 135 districts in the state are using that Anderson contract, if I'm reading this correctly. So it's obviously
Yeah,
what,
that is correct.
Yeah.
On the data side, we have at least 24 that have already transitioned over, with an additional 13 in progress. And on the voice side of things, we have had 29 active installations. And I say we, but we're talking about the upper East Tennessee region. And we've got another 6 in line there. So we've got big counties. Sevier has already went, Washington County, Elizabethton City Schools, Knox County, Unicoi, there's a lot of big names. We provided a list there.
Yeah,
for
that's what I was
reference.
counting.
I'll be happy to provide that if you don't have it in place.
No, we've got, that's what I was counting off of.
Okay.
So it's better service at a pretty significant cost savings.
Okay.
I'm good.
You got a motion and a second? Call roll, please.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Graver?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Long?
Yes. Final approval of naming the Armory Building, the C. Corporal William C. Mosier Memorial Building. County Commission updated the name at their January meeting.
Yes, they did update their name. I think it was the Corporal William C. Billy Mosier Memorial Building, and they took the Billy part off.
Took the Billy part out.
Yeah, and they actually give us a drawing of what the signage would look like. So I popped that up on the PowerPoint for you all. But they did approve that in January, and since we're a 50-50 agreement, we have to go back and approve the change.
Okay.
And what the architect explained, that this lettering will be very simple, actually it'll be the exact same lettering as what's on Mount City Elementary after we did the gymnasium expansion and all that, with the new lettering. To where it's very aesthetically pleasing to the eyes and can easily be read from Highway 421.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
With that, I'll make a motion that we agree with the final approval of naming the former National Guard Armory Building, which is going to take a while to get used to,
Yeah.
saying Corporal William C. Mosier Memorial Building.
Mm-hmm.
And I will second.
We have a motion and a second. Call roll, please.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Graver?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Long?
Yes. Approve renewal contract with District Solutions for bus signs advertising for the 26-27 school year.
Yes, and this is just the annual approval of the bus signs. I did have Tina run, so far since 2023, we've made $29,163.75. Those funds are put into the transportation equipment line item, and it's to help with the activity buses. So we're hoping to be able to purchase another one of those.
Okay.
If you have any specific questions, Darwin can answer them, but it's pretty simple. They've done a good job.
And if I'm,
You didn't have any problems with them?
No, sir. No problem.
and if I remember from last year, we do nothing with this.
Yep.
It is completely turnkey. They do all the work, put the decals on, go out and sell them. We just get the benefit of the profit for our portion of it.
Collect the check.
Correct,
That's all
check.
we have to do.
When we first done that, I thought that was the oddest thing I ever seen, but,
Now you see them all over the place.
yeah, everybody's done
Yeah.
Now, I'll put my 2 cents in here. You know, I think it's great that we do get some money back for this. However, I still think that, is it appropriate to advertise on a publicly owned building that's owned by the taxpayer, a vehicle that's owned by the taxpayer, and a private for-profit company is doing it? Even though I know state law allows it,
it.
that's my hang-up with it.
Yeah. Okay. Any further discussion? You got a motion?
I'll make a motion.
You got a motion?
I'll second.
And a second. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Graver?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
No.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Long?
Yes. Item 15, approve the TVA Energy Right Grant for Laurel Elementary.
We've already approved this. I probably should have put this under consent. We did get an executive agreement on this from Kevin on January the 16th. This was just for us to formally accept the TVA money in the amount of $200,000 that's going to Laurel Elementary for HVAC lighting. Leon can tell you more of the logistics behind that.
Yes, this is the grant that Dr. Eggers, Mr. Taylor, and the staff at Laurel Elementary was awarded late last spring. and it's come time to start spending those funds down, and we're ready to do that. So we would like your approval and answer any questions that you might have as far as that goes, or spending those funds down.
Well, it'll be easy, money's already there.
If we've got the executive agreement,
Yeah.
we still need to.
Yeah, because it would have been under consent. We should
Yeah.
have put that
Well,
under
I will
consent.
make a motion that we approve the TVA Energy Right Grant for Laurel Elementary.
And I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Graver,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Long.
Yes. Item 16, discussion and approval of playground equipment purchase with Compound in an amount of $439,597. Omni Partners contract with that number. Anybody gonna talk on that?
Yep, Nikki and I will. I'll start, and if you have any questions, Nikki can answer them. This is only for Head Start. This is the Head Start grant, and it will be for playground equipment at Mountain City, Frome Creek, and Doe, and it is a grant.
Yes. We received a startup grant for $448,000 at the beginning of August, and it can only be used for playground equipment. So our plan is to completely redo Doe. It's in the most need, Frome Creek, and then we're gonna replace a portion of Mountain City.
And I know questions have said, what about Laurel? Laurel does not have Head Start, so they're not eligible. But they are getting playground equipment through the TVA grant, so.
Okay.
Nikki, one thing I had to ask you about this morning was the pour and play as opposed to the bonded rubber mulch. Do you know how much more it would be to put the pour and play in at Mountain City?
I talked to her after the fact, and she is going to, work on a redesign after we get board approval and see if we can redo, Mountain City up to the swing portion. And then if she can get that in the budget, we will do the pour and place there and put one structure instead of two, because we don't have the funds for two there. And if she can get that in the budget, we'll do that, but if not, then we'll just replace the small structure because it's got some serious delamination on it that's not the safest for the kids right now, and it really needs to be replaced. Does that help?
How much would the second structure cost?
I get a quote on that and see. She might can replace get a mid-sized structure to replace both of them, and then keep some of the small pieces that are already there. I asked her today if the pour and play surfacing can be poured around some of the pieces that are already there, and she said it can be. So we may not have to replace all the little pieces if we can get the structures replaced. And the pour in place, the temperature has to be just right for it to be installed. So they might be able to do the playground, but depending on the weather, if it rains, it may delay the install of the pour in place. And the kids cannot play on it without that surfacing.
Okay.
I will also say there is a 8 to 12 week lead time on getting the equipment here. So she said it would have to be ordered by the end of February in order for us to get it completed by the close of our grant, which is, Russell would tell you, our grant ends July 31st, but we need time to for him to close the books prior to that.
We'll get that in summer anyway.
So we need to go ahead and move on this.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think it all looks awesome, and I mean, it's gonna improve the playground pretty significantly at those three schools. And we're playing with house money with the grant, so.
Yeah.
I would make a motion to approve purchase of the playground equipment with Compan in the amount of $439,597.89.
And I will second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or question? If not, call roll, please.
Miss Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Graver,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Long.
Yes. Item 17, recommendation of tenure candidates.
Yes, and these are just recommendations. They will not be voted on until the March meeting. That's just by law. We have to present them to you. Ms. Wills will actually send you a portfolio of each of these for you to look at in case you have any questions. And just remember, tenure law has changed. So these folks have met the criteria that the state has set in order to obtain tenure. If you do not grant them tenure, then they cannot be employed for the next school year. That's state law.
You want to read the names?
Yes, I'll be happy to read the names, and we're going to invite them to the March board meeting. Elijah Osborne, who's actually here tonight, Travis Heath, Ashley Holt, Teresa Neiman, Beverly Gamble, April Guy, Devin Shaw, Lana Smith, Misty Philippi, Amanda Potter, and Andrea O'Donnell, and they're all very wonderful educators.
Okay.
We will bring that back to you in March for approval.
All right. Item 18, discussion and approval of the MOU between Ballad Health, Niswonger Children's Network Response, and the Johnson County Board of Education for telehealth services. This was the only request that was received.
We did put the bid out for the telehealth services, and this was the only one that actually submitted a proposal. I think Christy did have a few that had reached out to her, but they never submitted a proposal. We did have a Zoom call with them on Monday with a lot of questions that we had about this MOU and some concerns and some issues, and happy to address any questions you have. Christy's here, and then Angie's overseeing that too. So,
What concerns did you all have?
there was several. Of course, the fee payment is a huge one for us. Under the previous one, it was $20, $25. This one, they go by your urgent care on your insurance, and for school employees, that's $45. So that was a huge concern. They cannot start this school year. It would not go into effect until August. There was some concerns about who oversees the technology piece. If it tears down, it's in there that we take care of their program. But I think those concerns sort of got answered with the call. Christy had a lot of concerns.
And first of all, I would like to say, you know, I was very fortunate I was able to sit in on this as well, and Christy handled this
She did.
greatly. I mean, she stepped up to the plate, had the questions. I think it threw Ballad off just a little bit that we had the questions that we had.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for that.
And I would like to say that Ballad did have a few questions that they were gonna ask legal about and get back to us on that. Also, the two main concerns, like she said, was the co-pays. We did talk about Blue Ridge Medical Management, which is stated within the proposal, and that's actually the owner of Ballad, so we kind of straightened up those questions. But as far as the co-pay and the urgent care, they did come back and say that they could probably start within 30 days if we went the urgent care route, which would be a $45 copay for our staff. I did, for those of you that were listening, I did misspoke in the meeting, because I didn't have the telehealth, which is actually Teladoc. I don't have that on my insurance card, but the newer insurance cards have Teladoc listed as $15. So I spoke it as telehealth. So actually probably what would happen, if we wait until August, to proceed, they are gonna try to get an office visit in for that copay, which would lower it down to a $25 office visit, not the $15 that I was talking about. The $15 is just for Teladoc, and that's actually a program that is through Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I have information on that if anybody wants to see it, but it's listed on tn.gov, and it's for individuals that have the state plan. So it's $15, and it's pretty much a 24/7 access to a provider. So I have that info if anybody has any questions. But there were several other minor questions that I think we pretty much got taken care of on the call. But I'd be glad to answer any more specific questions if anybody has any.
Angie, do you have anything you wanted to?
No, I think Chrissy pretty much summed it up. I mean, our big concerns is, you know, one, that they're not ready to start just yet, and then the fact with the copay, you know, we need to get that ironed out. But there are several things, but I feel like before you approve this MOU, that needs to be fixed, and they need to send that back.
Well, I was gonna say, you answered most of my concerns during the meeting, and I appreciate you asking those as far as who's going to be providing the care to the students and the staff. And, you know, if we go the urgent care route, we don't get this with the local providers, which they said during that they could, start within 30 or 45 days. But if we want this the right way, it wouldn't be starting until next school year. And that would be having local providers taking care of everybody. So that was something I was concerned about.
Yes, and I should have made it clear, if we go with the 30 days, we're not gonna have the access to Johnson County Community Hospital providers. If we wait, when we first started all this, I did my research, several of the other surrounding counties. Several have Ballad, there's a few others in place, like Tennessee Children's Hospital, and some other things, but if we go with the Johnson County Community Hospital, it's gonna be different from what I understand as to what Ballad does for the other schools. We're gonna have local providers and kind of have a partnership with the hospital.
And see, that's the biggest selling point for me, as far as, you know, several of us sat in on the meetings with Ballad last year and just talking with the 3 people, and they're going to hire a 4th based on what they told us. You know, that's a huge selling point for me, is being able to have that relationship with the local providers, people you know, people that aren't 4 counties away and you're waiting for them to check their pager to see if they have a telehealth appointment or something along those lines. So that part is a huge deal to me.
And they did state that wait time would be about no longer than 30 minutes to be able to see a provider.
If it's all possible, I think that needs to be an MOU that states that their response time's gonna be 30 minutes or less.
And I don't know if it's Christy or Angie, one made that comment.
And, you know, and something else that I didn't think about until after the call, you know, there's a clause in the way this boilerplate's drawn that it automatically renews. I think, if at all possible, we need to revisit this on an annual basis and approve this contract on an annual basis, just like we do for VOIP, that kind of thing like that. I don't think we need to have that clause that this just automatically renews, that gives us a point in time that we can evaluate what's going on, we can help to address any concerns that we have, and at least the board's physically touching this on an annual basis. And I would like to see, if at all possible, that there is not an auto renewal in this, that it is a year-to-year contract, and that contract comes back to this body every year for us to approve for the next school year. And also, and I think we need to make sure that we have a hard date in here. If it's August the 1st, that's the date that this program has to be up and rolling and running with the local providers at the community hospital, to where we know we start the 26-27 school year with the telehealth services in place to be provided for the benefit of our kids. And I think we need to make it as cost effective as we can. The lower we have that copay, you know, I understand, you know, we as, you know, staff, $25 is easily affordable to do that. I mean, I personally will avoid an urgent care because of that $45 fee. I mean, I have to be desperate to be able to use it. But I think if we can keep that at 25, that's going to help to have a little bit better staff participation with it, as opposed to that 45, or, you know, 45 is just for the partnership. It goes up depending on which plan level. Not everyone has the same plan level. So that can go from $45 to $65 for an urgent care visit based on what level of insurance that you have. And I think we need to keep it as low as possible, you know, because this benefits the most underprivileged and underserved group that we have. And these are our kids who do not have access to medical care. And this is one way that we can help bridge that gap, and we need to make it as affordable as possible. I know I'm preaching to the choir.
And see, that's always been something that's been big with telehealth with me, is just the fact that it does provide medical care to kids who would otherwise not get medical care.
And that's the whole point of it.
And that's the whole,
You know,
the whole point of it.
And I will still defend our decision and what we did with the previous provider is we tried to get that ironed out because of the fact that it provided that immediate access for those kids who needed the care.
That I did appreciate, with them, they did say that they would, should we have a situation that we needed a provider on site, that they can provide that.
Yeah.
And they would also, like, come on site for physicals and things like that, so that is something that we had previously that we've not been able, and I think that's
Anything else you want to add? I think I pretty well hit some of what I had.
No.
I can get on my soapbox about it real quick.
So how do we move forward with this if we're wanting modifications made to the MOU?
Table it to the next month.
I think we'll have to table it. Because actually, the way it's written is this discussion of approving the MOU, which I don't believe we're ready at this point to approve this MOU until we can get some of the changes made in some of the other things that we've sat here and talked about to see if we can legally get that into this agreement as well. So, you know, and at this point, we know if we go the most economical way of doing this to be the most cost effective, we're looking at August as a start date anyway. And that gives Ballard time, that gives Christie time, that gives our staff time to be able to coordinate and get the infrastructure that's in place. And, you know, that was one thing that Ballard talked about, that they've got to build the infrastructure for us as well, and that gives them time to do that.
Can you get this fixed in a month?
Well, I guess that's a question that needs to be addressed to both Christie and to Angie.
Can you get it fixed in a month?
our best.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
We can't, we'll just move it on down. Yes, I mean, need a motion to move to March.
I'll make the motion that we table this item until the March meeting.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second to move this item to a March meeting. Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Griever,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
and Mr. Long.
Yes. Tina's not here.
Tina is not here. She put your information at your desk. She said if you had any questions to just please reach out to her. She'll be happy to answer them.
She didn't tell you to.
Do you want me to read this? I'll be happy to. I may cough in the middle of it, but I'll be happy to.
No, has anybody got any questions?
I mean, other than, you know, something that Mr. Griever and I was sitting here discussing before the meeting is it's amazing what a half cent on the sales tax rate does. I mean, to look at, you know, that collections were $64,000 more this December than they were this past December.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the school portion of that. That's not the whole portion of that.
Right.
And it's, you know, a half cent makes that big of an impact to what we're doing.
Yeah. And to think that the state got to keep that.
They kept it.
They kept it.
Well, and until you see it in black and white, you don't realize that. I know there were a lot of people that thought it was just smoke and mirrors with that extra half cent, but it's literally right here in black and white.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fascinating.
Okay. Don't have anything public
Nope.
comment?
My turn.
Director's report.
Okay, just a reminder, Board Retreat is Saturday, February 28th. I'll be sending y'all an email. Our school board reps Gavin and Joya will be going to the SCOPE conference in a few weeks. So hopefully at the March meeting, they can tell us what they debated. Excited to hear. I do want to let you all know I did receive approval of the waiver for the week of February the 26th. The state did waive those 5 days. I submitted one today for last week and yesterday. I do want to stress, we value instructional time, and we're going to do everything we can to be in school, but, safety is a priority. And we have student drivers, we have buses, and a lot of back roads that I don't know that some people understand where some of our students live. It's hard to
So that
get them.
gets us to how many days?
It gets us right now with the waiver of February the 26th. We're at day 14. So it got us to 14. We have 13 built in. So if they approved last week, we have some.
And if we make it Monday and make that.
Monday's already an instructional day. So
Yeah,
that would get
but
us to the
back
13.
That gets us back to even.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So keep your fingers crossed on that. And then just want to give you a facilities update. The agriculture shop is coming along good. They've put the electrical boxes in. The gas heater and the sprinkler system, and I think Mr. Osborne's here. It's going along quite well, isn't it? Yeah. How much long? Herbie is at CTE conference, so he's not here tonight.
It should be done, I think, within 2 weeks.
Yeah. So it's coming along really good. And unlike Russell, it's going to take some time to get used to not saying the Armory. But I wanted to give you an update on the Corporal William C. Mosier Memorial Building. There's a picture of the sign again. They have put the VCT flooring. It has started, and this was from 2 weeks ago. So I'm sure we have a meeting tomorrow. So they do have the cosmetology equipment installed. I thought that was pretty cool to share, and it looks really, really good.
So I guess we'll have classes
Cosmetology. Yep.
there in August.
Yep, as long as the building's done. Yeah, that's the goal. And they're putting the platform framing for the stage in the common area. The meat processing facility, they put the refrigeration unit in the prep room. The sinks have been installed in the receiving room. And they're working on the hanging cooler. And the freezer is in. And then there's a picture of the classroom. I just wanted to share that. And just want to say thank you to all of our board members. We did have school board appreciation last week. So I know we were out of school and the schools probably didn't get to celebrate you like they normally would, but they will be celebrating you. And we appreciate our board. We have a wonderful board. They all care about our students, about our staff, and they want to do what's best for Johnson County. And it's great to have a wonderful 5-member board. So thank you all for all you do.
Ed, you have anything?
I just appreciate the job all of you do. Keep up the hard work.
Holly?
I actually do today. I want to personally thank Dustin Crumley for helping our youth league be able to play Saturday and the high school be able to play Saturday. He got up at, from my understanding, the butt crack of dawn, and that's even before Bit was out of bed. So I just appreciate that. I know that was hard work, and I want you to know we really appreciate it.
I probably should have mentioned this during the Parents Coalition part of things, but Mrs. Stonecipher has been working with Timothy Hill, and they have introduced a bill into the state legislature to attempt to make some modifications to the third grade retention law. And the primary change to it will be that it would now, if passed, would authorize the district to retain a student as opposed to requiring the district to retain a student. So it would add some common sense back into things and actually get it back to where it should be. And everybody is well aware exactly what I think of the third grade retention law. But kudos to you and Representative Hill and Senator Crow for getting that put in the legislature, and I am really hopeful it makes it on through.
Thank you for doing it.
Russell?
Again, I'm just glad that we're in school.
Me too.
You talk about the days we had taken off. You know, we do live in the most northeastern part of the state of Tennessee, mountainous region. You know, I was in Irwin today and it was 67 degrees. But you get up next to the North Carolina line, it may be, in the shade, it's probably still 40 degrees. And a lot of people don't understand that. They run around the town and see, well, it's fine here. I'm running around in short sleeves. But, you know, if there's still snow on the ground and roads slick up on the North Carolina line, it's hard to get a bus around up in there. So, we have to be safe with our kids. And, if you hadn't never drove a bus, you need to try to move one of them around, one of them hollers up in there. Lonnie knows, we used to hear Fred Price come in. Everybody don't know Fred Price, but he come in and talk about having to drive through a barn, turn around, and he literally did. One of his bus routes, he drove through a barn, turned around and come back. And he got to fussing one day when he come back in, Fred Stout was the boss then. He said, Fred, they hung tobacco in the barn. And they wasn't supposed to hang that lowest run, but they did. So it hit the top of his bus. He was fussing about it. But anyway, we do appreciate everybody. So.
I was afraid he was going to be, he hit a chicken.
No, he hit a chicken. Anybody got anything else? Need a motion? We adjourn.
Motion. Make a motion, we adjourn.
We got a motion to adjourn. We're adjourned. Thank y'all.